Wow, has it been a crazy busy pattern out across portions of California over the last few to several days? Just rounds and rounds of moderate to even some heavy rain. That's accumulated to a ton of precipitation, a widespread area. If you look in here, of 4, 5, 6 inches of rain, and then you see these little dots of the purples. How about well over a half a foot of rain? There's been even in a 24-hour period recorded a foot of rain. Like, that's just baffling. That's impressive for snowfall anywhere to have a foot of snow. Wow. Whew. Meteorologist Brian Ivy here with you. Snowplow News, Norcast weather video. We had this Pineapple Express, all this moisture with the jet stream being transported into California. Now things are changing. Now we're getting this part of the system to move away. We're getting this batch here of the jet stream with cold air across Alaska and northwestern portions of Canada to shove closer to the United States. We're getting this active subtropical jet stream across the south. And now you're bringing these two together. So now we're bringing the cold air in, we're bringing troughing, and we're bringing energy. If these things truly come together, it's going to be very interesting next week for a potential major snowstorm. If they don't, we're still going to get some snow probably. We're still going to get plenty of rain in spots, and we're going to get a colder pattern. This is a very active jet stream, and it's more signifying colder air being able to push on into the eastern half of the country. So let's take a look at that. High pressure, sunshine, goodbye, moving out, a little bit of rain showers, a bigger system forming for the weekend. Not huge, but it'll be a line of some rain showers moving across portions of the Great Lakes, northeast, maybe a couple storms, plus rain in towards the south. Then things get interesting. This system kicks out of the west, and it's going to form here. Now, does it really form here? It could form here, or it barely could form at all. It all depends on how those jet streams interact, or what we call phase together. This solution brings them together, brings plenty of rain and moisture in. It tosses that into the cold air, and you have a big batch of snow somewhere. Oh yeah, that would be a big time snowstorm if it happened like this across portions of the Mid-Atlantic into New England. There you go. Boston would get crushed. Yeah, so would maybe State College, Albany. Wow. Well, is that going to happen? We don't know. Could it happen? Yes, there is a realistic chance. There probably will be an organized snowstorm, but this guy forms it out here into the panhandle and brings it up and transfers it more into a coastal low, and that would be a big deal nor'easter for portions of New England. And don't have the snowfall amounts on here because we're not sure. It really just depends. It could be one of those systems that drops a couple inches. It could be way down here. It could be a major system that obviously would be feet of snow. But where is that going to be? Is that the most likely scenario? No, not at this point. But we're showing you the trends of actually getting back to snow events again. West is going to be busy. Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's going to feel like winter next week. It's going to be a little bit more up and down in the temperature department for sure, but we have certainly not been that up and down in the temperature department. We'll talk about that in a moment. It's been pretty warm across a lot of the area. Plenty of rain associated with this system as well. Lots of 2, 3, 4 inch type amounts. Everybody should be getting in on a pretty good batch that does get impacted by this system into the deep south, southeast, mid-Atlantic. So these are the temperatures to date, going back to when records were kept in the later 1800s. How about the warmest winter on record for the upper Midwest? One of the top 5 to 10 warmest through New England. Been mild. It's been mild, certainly. No doubt about it. Some spots in a top 10 warmest winter on record. We get this big ridge to move on out. The cooler air will come. We're going to have it come in waves. Nothing extreme, but it will be batches of colder air that do sink down into the east at times. And I think this type cold air that is more potent, some of the coldest air that we've seen this winter, eventually will swing its way down, not next week, but the week after. And that could be a little bit more with this type of a setup where we got this locked in trough of low pressure. We got a great blocking pattern with ridging across portions of Western Canada, the Pacific Northwest, ridging around Greenland, that negative NAO type pattern that could sustain us into nothing crazy, nothing historical, but a colder type pattern, a more active, truly wintry type pattern. But for next week, we adjust with the cold air building in across the south. Still mild across the Twin Cities, but much more temperate, much more average across like New York and portions of Kentucky, Ohio. So we'll see some changes gradually.